Greetings, kindred. Just to let you know that I've done the horoscopes and they will be posted below wherever you're watching this. And if they're not, you can find them at my website, which will always be linked on my page. So let's get into it. The full moon will reach its peak on February 1st, 2026 at 22:09 in the GMT time zone, at 17:09 in the EDT time zone, and the full moon will reach its peak on February 2nd at 9:09 in the AEDT time zone. So as the full moon reaches its peak, she will be at 14 degrees in Cancer. Now, at 14 degrees, the moon is normally more in its wisdom than its vulnerability, but there is still an element of vulnerability there. So it's a very psychic, sensitive moon, can, be prone to mood swings. But Cancer is renowned for retreating into its shell when it's under pressure. And this full moon, there is a lot of pressure because of this opposition to this stellium here in Capricorn. Now, the moon is always in opposition to the sun at the full moon. And stelliums can be quite overwhelming depending on the planets and how they gel. But in this instance, we have the Sun and Vesta in the middle. So it's a Sun and Vesta that will be mostly impacted by this stellium of planets here. Now, Vesta is all about our duty, our passion, what lights our fire. But in Capricorn, it actually is all about boundaries and restrictions and really creating those boundaries and restrictions. But it also demands the commitment to those boundaries. So really putting the onus on us, whether that's globally or personally. It's like if it's within relationships, the boundaries that are put into place may not be desirable. So on one side of the stellium, we have Venus and Mercury, which just really is all about long-term goals and setting long-term goals. So Mercury in Capricorn is really heavily influenced by the Saturn energy, and Saturn is coming into its third and final conjunction to Neptune this month as well. Now, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so Neptune's energy is actually stronger out of the two. Saturn doesn't really do so well in Pisces. So we have to beware of the boundaries and the restrictions that are coming into place, whether globally or personally, are based on a more realistic terms, because there can be wishful thinking here. So these boundaries and that are restrictions that are being put into place can actually cause a bit of conflicts, because we have Mars, who's just gone over Pluto, actually. So this conflicting energy has been going on for a little while now. In this stellium, it really does impact our identity and our sense of duty, our passion, our mission in life. So with the moon in Cancer right now, we can actually shy away from confrontation. But if we don't, it can get a little bit out of hand. So we have to watch out for that. Now, we do have Pallas coming into conjunction with the North Node. And to me, this is like, especially in Aquarius, it's creating quite a big awareness, actually. But it's not an awareness that kind of impacts us all of a sudden, although it could be in Aquarius. So it could be that pattern recognition is seeping in Or it could be that we're forced to see things as they truly are, because Aquarius is all about authenticity. It's also about independence and freedom of spirit. So there is some kind of recognition here that needs to be had regarding all these boundaries and restrictions that are being put into place with this little stellium in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is the executive of the zodiac. And to me, well, in true lifetime astrology, Capricorn is the one that works behind the scenes. It's like the one that makes the rules and regulations. I call them the pen pushers. They're the ones that make the rules and regulations. They work behind organizations. Capricorn rules the 12th house, which is the house of the executive, whereas the 11th house is more the upfront people, the people that are upfront that put all the rules and regulations into place, the front man, the face up front, whereas Capricorn is really about the people that make the decisions behind the scenes. So there's a lot of talk going on behind the scenes right now. But even if we're not aware of it on a conscience level, I feel psychically there's going to be some kind of triggering going on here. So we do have Jupiter is retrograded in Gemini. Now, Jupiter retrograded in Gemini, it's quite an awkward position for Jupiter because, like, the minds can change at the drop of a hat. And also, it's like we can follow narratives really with this energy. But in opposition to Juno and making this T square towards Ceres, I would say that maybe these rules and regulations that are being put into place are for the benefit of children, maybe, or for maybe the farming industry or food industry. But again, in Capricorn, it really is economy and commerce. So it could all be to do with trade. But like I said, this Saturn Neptune conjunction that's coming together pretty close and will become exact this month. It can be leading up the garden path, or it could be wishful thinking, building castles in the sky. So I just feel that things can feel pretty heavy this full moon. So I think we need to watch out for that. And because Capricorn can be quite a heavy, depressing energy as well, I feel we need to be doing uplifting things, like whether that's playing music, singing, being creative with art, doing things that make us happy, and or daily positive affirmations. And I feel we need to keep our spirits uplifted definitely throughout this full moon period, because there's a lot taking place, whether it's on a conscience level or not. We will be feeling it. We also have the moon in quincunx aspect to Juno, who's at 15 degrees in Sagittarius. Now, to me, Juno is all about commitment, whether that be work, project, a cause, to partnerships. It's just a sense of commitment and loyalty. So I think there's something coming up around that because, as you know, the number 15, if you watch my videos in the past, I've been talking about the number 15 for quite some time now. Now, 15 is a purgatory number. So I just feel like, whatever's going on, it's not really to the benefit of the people. It's not really to the benefit of the cause. I feel like it's very restrictive and very overwhelming because Capricorn can be quite an overwhelming energy. It can also be very burdensome energy as well. In a way, this is kind of taking me back to 2020 because in 2020 we had some rare conjunctions taking place then, like with the Saturn Pluto conjunction that took place in January 2020. We had what's called the Great Conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn that happened in December of 2020. But also that year we had 5 eclipses instead of 4. So it was a very significant turning point. And I feel that this here is kind of like an escalation of the turning point, especially with this conjunction here with Saturn and Neptune occurring in Pisces this February, and with this North Node Pallas conjunction occurring in Aquarius, and Juno at 15 degrees. Wow. I just feel in Sagittarius, it's around religion, or it's around education, or it's around marketing. If this little stellium here is all about the economy and commerce on a global level, I just feel it's going to be revealed to be corrupt decisions that are being made. So this quincunx aspect, it's like, that's why I feel like we may not be in the know on the conscience level, but I just feel psychically we are in the know. And with Pallas coming into conjunction with the North Node here, it's almost like it's seeds that are being planted. We also have the Black Moon Lilith in Ophiuchus, and she's in a comfort zone here. Although if you've got a sun within 4 degrees of this placement, and I would say that's ranges between the 13th and the 17th of December. If you have a sun placement there, I just feel this energy is going to be very draining for you, this full moon. So just rest as much as you can, and don't try and fight the tiredness or the lack of energy that you might be experiencing right now. And also, if you have a sun in Taurus in opposition to this Black Moon Lilith, I would say, the same thing. So when it's a conjunction or an opposition, it's more impactful in that kind of energy depleting way. So yeah, just watch out for that. But anyway, Kindred, I'm going to leave it there. And as always, I'm sending you peace and much love. Take care.